The majority of Christians talk about a revival where many will return to Christ and become saved. And Hebrew Israelites talk about 1/3 of Israel being saved before the world goes to pot. I've heard this over and over again, but is this true? Paul writes in the book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 26, "So all Israel shall be saved, as it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob." If you look at this verse on the surface, you will believe that every Israelite will be saved. But the only problem with that theory is that Yeshua said something different. Matthew chapter 7 verse 14, "Because strait is the gate and narrow is the way which leads to life, and few there be that find it." How much is a few? How do we reconcile the two? Who is right? Are they saying something different? Are a few Israelites? Has things changed since Yeshua died and was resurrected? Let's go over some of the theories as to what Paul said. Some interpret all Israel to mean every individual bloodline descent of Israel will be saved. In this view, during Yeshua's return, that all Israel will be gathered and enter into the kingdom. Others interpret all Israel to refer to a spiritual Israel that includes believers in Christ, whether Jew or non-Israelite. Other interpretations suggest that all Israel refers to the remnant of faithful believers from among the Jews, in line with the Old Testament themes, where only a faithful remnant of Israel will be saved. The key to understanding this lies in the top of the chapter. If you don't know the history, Paul will confuse you. So let's go right to the top of the chapter, Romans chapter 11 verse 1. "I say then, has Elohim cast away his people? Elohim forbid. For I am also an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. Elohim hath not cast away his people which he foreknew." Don't you know what the scripture says of Elias? How he make intercession to Elohim against Israel, saying, "The Most High, they have killed thy prophets and digged down thine altars, and I am left alone, and they seek my life." But what saith the answer of Elohim unto him? "I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal." Even so, at this present time also there is a remnant according to the election of grace. In Romans chapter 11, 1 through 5, Paul addresses the question of whether Elohim has rejected his people. Paul's answer is Elohim forbid, or certainly not, affirming that Elohim hath not abandoned Israel. In verse 1, Paul asserts that he himself is an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin, thereby making a case that if Elohim had rejected Israel, which is just Judah and Benjamin at this point, he also would have been rejected. Verse 2, Paul states that Elohim had not cast away his people whom he foreknew. This means Elohim had a relationship with and knowledge of Israel from the beginning and has not abandoned them. Verse 3 through 4, Paul brings up the story of Elijah from the Old Testament, who thought he was alone as a follower of the Most High and his commandments, and that everyone else had turned to idolatry. Elohim assures Elijah that he has reserved 7,000 men in Israel who have not worshipped Baal, the Canaanite god. Verse 5, Paul explains the same grace that was able to preserve the 7,000 Israelites is the same grace that is preserving a certain number of Israelites at this point. In other words, grace is not new. The key to understanding all Israel being saved is asking the question, why did Paul mention Elijah? So let's review the historical context to better understand the concept of the salvation of all Israel. To do so, it is essential to explore the events that transpired during the time of Elijah. During this time, Israel was divided into two kingdoms, the northern kingdom, where the 10 tribes resided, and the southern kingdom, inhabited by Judah and Benjamin. The 10 tribes were situated in the northern part of Israel and practiced the worship of other Elohims in the hills of Samaria. On the other hand, Judah and Benjamin was located in the southern part of Israel and worshipped in Jerusalem. Now, to understand what Paul meant by all Israel, we have to go deeper into the history and find out what happened after the split. 2 Kings chapter 17 verse 15. "And they rejected his statutes and his covenant that they had made with their fathers, and his testimonies which he testified against them. And they followed vanity and became vain, and went after the heathen that were round about them, concerning whom the Most High had charged them, that they should not do like them. They left all the commandments of the Most High their Elohim, and made molten images, even 2 calves, and made a grove, and worshipped all the hosts of heaven, and served Baal. Therefore the Most High was angry with Israel, and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only." Verse 23, "Until the Most High removed Israel out of his sight, as he had said by all his servants the prophets. So was all Israel carried away out of their land unto Assyria to this day. The key to understanding what this is all about is in verse 18. It explains that the Most High was angry with Israel because they refused to walk in his commandments, so he removed them out of his sight. In the verse, the phrase removed out of his sight is a poetic way to describe the exile of Israel from their land. The northern kingdom was conquered by Assyria and its inhabitants and were deported to various parts of the Assyrian Empire. The statement, "there was none left but the tribe of Judah only," indicates that only the southern kingdom of Judah remained as a political entity. Judah itself had its own share of troubles, but only the 10 tribes were removed out of this sight. This chapter explains the fall of the northern kingdom of Israel to the Assyrian Empire, according to history, in 722 BCE. So when we go to the New Testament, we see the word Jews is not talking about the complete 12 tribes of Israel. It is only talking about Judah and Benjamin. That's why Paul explained he was from the tribe of Benjamin, because only these 2 tribes were left. So now let's read 2 Kings chapter 18, verse 1. Now it came to pass in the 3rd year of Hoshea, the son of Elah, king of Israel, that Hezekiah, the son of Ahaz, king of Judah, began to reign. Notice in 2 Kings chapter 18, they list the kings that were present at that time, so they can show you the time of what this prophet was talking about. And there was both a king of Israel and a king of Judah. So in this chapter in Kings, what took place here happened during the reign of Hoshea, of king of Israel, and Hezekiah, king of Judah. But if we go to chapter 21, 2 Kings chapter 21, verse 1, Manasseh was 12 years old when he began to reign, and reigned 55 years in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Hephzibah. Only the king of Judah is mentioned in this chapter. There is no longer a king of Israel that is recognized by the Most High, as they went into slavery, and the Most High no longer cared for them. No record of what they did in the King James Bible. I'm pretty sure they may have kept a record, but there is none in this Bible because they are no longer part of the covenant. Hosea chapter 8, verse 4. They have set up kings, but not by me. They have made princes, and I knew it not. Of their silver and their gold have they made them idols, that they may be cut off. The 10 tribes were cut off, no longer part of the covenant. So what Paul is addressing in Romans and in Galatians and all these other books is that these estranged Israelites that went into slavery after the fall of the northern kingdom of Israel to the Assyrian Empire have now been accepted back into the covenant. They are now saved, and now it is Judah's turn to be estranged from the covenant. Romans chapter 11, verse 31. Even so have these also not believed, that through your mercy they also may obtain mercy. For Elohim hath concluded them all in unbelief, that he might have mercy upon all. Paul is clarifying it is currently the tribe of Judah who lacks belief, with the hope that in the future the Most High can extend mercy to both parties. In simpler terms, both kingdoms, the northern and southern, will be saved at the same time. Paul says in Romans chapter 11, verse 26, and so all Israel shall be saved, as it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away godliness from Jacob. All Israel means both northern and southern kingdoms at the same time. In the Old Testament, the northern kingdom was cast off. Now in the New Testament, the southern kingdom was cast off from the covenant. But when Christ comes back, both kingdoms will be saved. Paul is quoting Isaiah 59, verse 20, and the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgressions in Jacob, saith the Most High. As for me, this is my covenant with them, says the Most High. My spirit that is upon thee, and my words which I have put in thy mouth, shall not depart of thy mouth, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, nor out of the mouth of thy seed's seed, saith the Most High, from henceforth and forever. Isaiah and Paul are talking about the everlasting salvation in the future for Israel. This is our hope. Romans chapter 9, verse 24. Even us, not of the Jews only, but of the Gentiles. As he said also in Osee, I will call them my people, which were not my people, and her beloved, which was not beloved. And it shall come to pass in the place where it was said unto them, you are not my people, they shall be called the children of the living Elohim. To understand what Paul is writing, you have to go to Osee, which is Hosea. Hosea chapter 1, verse 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it is said unto them, You are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living Elohim. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together, and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land. For great shall be the day of Jezreel. The Gentiles Paul was talking about was the northern kingdom. Paul makes that clear. In the Old Testament, they were separated by the terms children of Judah and the children of Israel. In the New Testament, they are separated by the terms Jew and Gentile. Romans chapter 9 verse 27. Isaiah also cries concerning Israel, though the number of the children of Israel be as the sand of the sea, a remnant shall be saved. To understand this, you have to go to Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 10 verse 22. For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decreed shall overflow with righteousness. So to sum this all up, when Paul mentioned that all Israel was saved, he was referring to the salvation of both the northern and southern kingdoms at the same time, not every Israelite. Until this point, only one kingdom was saved at a time. When Yeshua advises entering the narrow gate because only a few will find it, Paul, Hosea, Isaiah all concur that although the children of Israel are as numerous as the sand of the sea, only a remnant will make it. It is crucial to understand that a remnant means just a few. This few is not equivalent to 1/3, a number mistakenly propagated by some confused Hebrew Israelites. The 1/3 that they're talking about are the Israelites who went into slavery. The 1/3 has led many to believe that they have already attained salvation, thinking that they can be comfortable. It's essential to grasp that a few means truly a few. And when Yeshua urges us to strive to enter, it means that it's not easy. It's hard work. It's not an easy journey. That's it for today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.